So before you begin any type of handling of food, you want to always make sure that you wash it thoroughly and then lay it out to dry on either a cloth or a paper towel of some sort.
My name is Courtney. I'm the 4-H educator here in Upson County.
My name is Hailey Robinson. I'm the Ag Agent and County Extension Coordinator here in Upson County.
And today we're going to be showing you how to make herb ice cubes.
Yeah! So for those of you that have seen our last video where we made basil salts, we're going to do basil and cilantro into these ice cubes. Like we said at the last video, whenever we can start our garden club and have the kids come here into the office, the whole purpose behind it is to show them the whole process. We're going to talk about planting, we're going to talk about maintaining, we're going to harvest, and then we're going to show you what to do with those plants afterwards. And so this basil that we've got and the cilantro that we've got, which is we've washed it, and we showed you that we washed it in the sink as well. These are some herbs that Miss Hailey grew at her house and what the kids will be able to grow when we have those raised beds here for the garden club.
So we're going to get our gloves on, because remember, you guys always want to have gloves, have your hair tied back, and make sure you ask an adult for permission before you start doing this, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, so we have got our gloves on, we are ready to go, and now we're going to start pulling apart our cilantro and get them all separated and ready to go.
Before we do that, Miss Courtney's going to start with that in a second. But what we're going to do, and this is why we need you to get your parents' permission, we're going to use a knife, a sharp knife. We don't want to use a dull one. With a dull knife, you're going to be more apt to cut yourself than with a sharp knife. But what we're going to do is with this basil, because some of these leaves are pretty big, and to be able to put this, and I don't know if y'all can see that, but that you can show it, look with my shirts. I mean, they're pretty big leaves, but it's going to be too big to go in just one of those ice cubes. So we're going to make them a little bit smaller first. So I'll cut these, and then after I cut them, because we don't want Miss Courtney's fingers on this cutting board whenever mine are on there at the same time, because we don't want to cut her either, right?
No, we don't.
And we're not going to do very thin cuts. I mean, they're just going to be so that they can fit inside these ice cube trays. But the whole purpose behind freezing these herbs is so that you can save them and you can use them later on. So we're making kind of a course. I mean, it went from that big leaf right there to a leaf about this size, if you can see it with these huge things. So it's a pretty little one. I mean, we went from a leaf this big to like a little piece of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the cilantro, and it's going to be on the other side of our cutting board, and we're going to pull off all the leaves from those stems, because we don't want those woody stems in our ice cubes.
Yes, so we'll be right back. Cilantro pulled off the stem, and Miss Hailey is going to chop it just a little rough chop with the knife. Once again, be very careful when you're doing this, just to get it a little bit finer, because once again we're trying to put it in these little bitty ice cube holes, so we don't want it to be too big.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill it up, and we're gonna do half of our trays. We'll do one row that's gonna be basil and one row that's gonna be cilantro. And so I've got the oil, and so we've got, and we're just estimating right now. Might need a little bit more than a cup, but we've measured out a cup of water, which Miss Courtney has. I've got a cup of vegetable oil. You can use olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, whatever you want to use. So what we'll do is we're gonna fill them with the herbs first. Almost halfway full. We'll just kind of estimate depending on how big the leaf is that's going in there. And then afterwards we're gonna go over. I'll go over with oil through this whole ice cube tray, and she's gonna go with water. Okay. And then we'll do that, and then we'll get right back to you.
Okay. Okay, everybody, so we are back. We have got our trays loaded, and we did take a picture. We'll insert that somewhere in here for you guys to see what it looks like. And now we're going to start adding our water and our oil.
So you might ask, why are we putting oil with some and water with some? So it's kind of your cooking preference. So Miss Hailey loves to cook, and so I use olive oil, vegetable oils a lot more than I use butter, just because it's easier to cook. It melts a lot faster. And so whenever I'm doing something with these herbs, say I'm making chicken or fish or something like that, I'll probably be using vegetable or olive oil anyways. And so it's just going to be a lot easier. You'll already have that oil and that herb popped and ready to just put it in the skillet or wherever you're putting it, in your pan or whatever you're going to do. But if you're wanting to use other types of oils, then using water is going to be a lot better for you. So it's kind of just based off of your cooking preference. That's why we're going to try out both of them and kind of see how they taste and which ones we like better.
Okay, so we're going to get started, and we'll be right back. Okay. Alright, so we are back. We have gotten our olive oil and our water trays, and now we're going to pop them in the freezer.
Yep, and so what we'll do is we'll take a picture of this so you can kind of see the difference, and then we're going to put them in the freezer and we're going to leave them here overnight. And then what we'll do tomorrow is we'll take a picture so you can see the difference of how it freezes. You'll notice that oil is going to get a little bit more cloudy look to it when it freezes versus what the water is going to be more see-through. That kind of look to it. So, but you do want to make sure after you've done this that you want all of your herbs to be kind of pushed down into it so they're not floating on the top, but you want them kind of throughout that whole ice cube.
Okay, so we hope you had fun and we hope you enjoyed this. And if you guys try this at home, be sure to send us some pictures.
And you can use any herbs. You don't just have to use basil and cilantro. You can do any herbs that you want to do for it.
Yes, so be sure to share them with us. And we will see you next time.
Bye!